Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Chew podcast. It's not live this time. We're recording. We're doing something that can be edited. So if one of us says something horrible, it can be edited out. Now, here's my opinions on Italians. No, we're actually going to get an opinion about an Italian later, but not. It's actually a good opinion. It's me, John. Hi, how's it going? I got two friends on here. Rose, you're here.
Hi, I'm here.
It's been a little bit. It's been a little bit since you've been on.
Yeah.
Spencer's also here, who hasn't been on in much longer. Hi, Spencer. How's it going?
Hello. I've finally all moved in, and medical situations are mostly under control, so we're all good there.
That's good. I'm sorry that was a hassle, but I'm glad to hear that you're well.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, just a shout out if you haven't gone in a while, go to the dentist.
Okay.
Go to the dentist. You will thank yourself later in the future.
You know, I don't think I've been to the dentist in a very long time, so...
Now, if you brush regularly and floss regularly, that's not going to be that much of a deal, but you don't want to be in the situation I was in. I'm just going to tell you that.
Understandable. I'll keep that in mind. So, a lot of gaming happened this past week, I would say. A lot of talks about games. A lot of it pretty bad. The talking, not the games. Like, there's been good games, bad conversation, I think is how I would put it. It's the Wild West right now, I would say. But God, some good games. Do y'all want to talk about some good games first, or do you want to talk about the shootouts at the OK Corral that have been going on?
I'm fine with either, really. I always have the fire in my heart going either direction.
All right. I think we should start off talking about something nice. I think people are going to tune into this podcast and they're going to be like, John, Rose, Spencer, bring a little sunshine into my heart before you crush it with your opinions. I'm gonna take the lead here because I just want to talk about something nice that happened to me. I went to the arcade. Now, you may be thinking, John, didn't you mention that you work at an arcade? And that's correct, but there is another arcade. And not just another arcade in this town. Like, there is another arcade directly across the street from the arcade that I work at. Which you would think would be, bad competition. Like, it would be it would be like a fucking Krusty Krab and a Chum Bucket sort of rivalry. I mean, I don't know what kind of secret formula we would have at our establishment. But in fact, it doesn't really overlap at all because our arcade is very much like old school games and pinball and the kind of thing that you would want to bring a date to, I guess. The average adult humans would bring a significant other to this establishment.
Mm-hmm.
The other arcade that I went to is called Arcade UFO in Austin, and that one is for people like me who want to play Melty Blood on an arcade machine, because that is what I did. I went to Arcade UFO and I played some Melty Blood, and it made me happy to do that.
Hell yeah.
I was there for an hour and a half, but I am thinking about going back after we're done recording because it is open until 2 a.m. So I might go again tonight. If not tonight, maybe tomorrow night, which is not going to be open until 2 a.m. tomorrow night, but it'll be open till midnight or something. So I'll still probably go. It's nice. It's got a bunch of cabs that you can swap the games in them.
Oh, nice.
They got fucking. I didn't even know this existed. They have Azumanga Daioh Puzzle Bobble.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's
I was
incredible.
pretty stoked about that. They have pretty much every fighting game you could possibly think of. Mostly the modern Japanese stuff, I would say. I mean, but they have all the Street Fighters that you would want, like 2 and Third Strike and 4. and they have like PS4s hooked up too. So if you want to play like more modern games or modern games, they have those.
That sounds pretty sick.
Yeah, that sounds great.
No, it's awesome. They have a lot of rhythm games there too. They have that one that is just fucking piano. Like it is just a piano.
Oh.
That one one cracks me up because it's just like, yeah, dude, you just set up a piano in this arcade.
Were there a lot of those? Because I feel like every time I hear about a friend going to an arcade, it's just to play like the Theatrhythm arcade game or like not DJ Maxx, but Ultimania. What is it called? Beatmania. Stuff like that.
They had a dance game. I don't know which one it was. It wasn't Beatmania or DDR. It was something I didn't really recognize. They do have a lot of rhythm games there though. They also have a lot of shmups. They straight up have a Toho shmup set up there. I don't think it's one of the official Toho games. I think it's a fan game or whatever. But they have a Toho set up, and they also have Death Smiles too and shit. Like that's pretty cool. But my favorite game that I had never played before that I played there is a rhythm game called Tunithum.
Okay.
Tunithum. Where basically it is this flat surface in front of you that is it's a touchpad. And then there are two sensors on the side of the machine. Like it's like you're like in an enclosed area. Like the thing that first comes to mind is like a voting booth. Like when you go to vote or whatever. And so you touch the touchpad like for hitting the the notes that are coming at you press those, and then you could press down and like slide back and forth to do like some sliding notes. But there are also like the sensors are on the side, and sometimes the game will tell you to lift your hands up and keep them there, and that's just like holding a note for like in the air basically. Like you switch between pressing things down and holding your hands up, and sometimes it'll be like wave your hand to do that to hit this note. So you're just like you're moving your hand up and down, sliding, and all this. It's very active. It's very fun, and I only played a few songs, but I was losing my fucking mind at some of the choices they had on there. Oh my god, they had the Sega Hard Girls theme song. And I lost my shit, they had fucking zombie, like all the Zombieland Saga songs, like all of them. And then I seriously, I had to stop myself from like yelling and crying because they had the Princess Principal theme song, and I was like, bro, you can't just drop this on me. You can't.
Did you play it?
Of fucking course, I played it. And it was good as hell.
The girl who sees through lies.
The girl who sees through lies. She cannot be deceived. Holy fuck. I know. I lost it. But like I didn't even look through all the songs because I would hit. Like I was like, okay. Oh shit, I gotta play this right now. Like I did that for the 3 songs, then I was like, okay, I gotta go home. So I'm gonna play more. I gotta see what else is on there. Like I'm. Oh my god. It was really fun. It was really fun. I could definitely see myself going there regularly. Like it was just like I went there straight after work. I just I finished work that day and I just went right there and just played some games. It's nice and it's not expensive there too. Like that's the thing is that like it's like 75 cents a play, which is really not bad. No, I liked it a lot. It was good to go. I'm gonna have a good time there when I go.
That sounds awesome.
So yeah. So that was the nice thing for John. This was a good week of gaming for me. I'm just gonna say right now. Like that was the intro, but I'll have more later. Spencer, you haven't been around in a hot minute. Do you want to tell us about what's going on with you? You have some opinions here. You have some opinions. So let's hear it.
So I'm a big fan of the video game System Shock 2, one of the progenitors for a lot of different styles of games. It's like the first game that had, well, it's not the first game that had audio dialogue, but it was one of the more popular ones because it's the first game was kind of a nightmare to play. And Night Dive has been slowly working on a remake of the first System Shock game, and they put a demo out for it a couple weeks ago. And it's the entire first level, basically. And it's got some substantial changes from all of the stuff that we've seen years ago, because they've been working on this for years now. And that demo is really fun, and it looks amazing. There's a really weird blend, because System Shock came out 95 or so, I want to say. So it's got a little bit more detail than, say, Doom, but we're still working on all of the enemies are 2D sprites still, and the environments are very blocky and geometric. But what they've done, shit. It is the good shit. And what's fun is they still have some of those 2D sprites in this newer, updated version of the game that's more modern. One of the things you can get is you get basically little medi patches and stuff. So there's one for healing yourself, there's one for increasing your melee damage, that's a berserk one. But each of them have side effects that you experience. And one of the side effects for the berserk one is you start hallucinating the enemies from the 95 game that are just around you. And at first it's a bit jarring, but then it's just kind of a little funny Easter egg, really. But what they've done with that demo, what they've done with that game is they have blended in a very beautiful way the style of the old 95 game, the tile sets for the rooms, and have updated it with modern lighting techniques, rendering software. It's really weird going through a corridor in that game and then looking at the same corridor in the 95 game, and it's the same corridor. It's just slightly more detailed. There's slightly more stuff on the ground, but it straight up just looks like they ripped the game out of 95, and then it's you can just walk around it as a regular human person instead of a weird, this is a simulation. And they also updated the cyberspace gameplay functionality that was in the original game, where you would jack into a cyberport, and then you have to do a wireframe 6-axis dimensional, you basically have it's basically a what's a good word, it's kind of not like a Star Fox game, but a space shooter where you can go in all different directions and you have to fly through tunnels and stuff. In the original game, it's very difficult to tell where you have to go because everything's just all wireframes. So it's hard to tell unless you bump into a surface oh, this is a wall. But they've updated it so it actually plays more like an actual video game. And that's really good. They also made all of the models for the characters and weapons and stuff. It's not super realistic. They've gone for a very stylized approach. One of the guns you can get is a pistol, and it straight up looks like a Fisher-Price gun. It looks like a toy, but which would normally be goofy, but the old guns all looked like toys anyway. All the Doom weapons basically look like toys except for the super shotgun. And I think, if I remember correctly, when they were taking the pictures for the Doom guns, they actually used a bunch of props and toys and stuff. Which gives them that blocky, chunky sort of sci-fi look.
Yeah.
And so they went with that for System Shock, but it still looks like an actual gun in this universe because it fits with the background environments. If you just take that gun out of its context, it looks like a Fisher-Price toy. But in context, it's oh yeah, I can see how this would be a regular sidearm for a security officer. So the environments are really good. The enemies are sufficiently spooky to deal with. The voice acting is all really solid. It's just a really fun game. I'm really looking forward to that game. It comes out, I think, next month. It's either later this month or next month. So I'll have more on the full game later.
I think it's great that it's actually exists at all, but especially that it's good, because I mean, it's been in development for so long.
And I remember one of the original things was that it was like too dark and stuff, like way too dark, but they've brightened it up quite a bit. But you were saying?
Oh, just that I like 3 was canceled semi recently, so I know it'll be good to see like, oh wait, people do actually want this kind of game if anyone's listening. You know, people like immersive sims, if you can believe it.
I certainly do. But yeah, it's a really good game, really solid. Really happy to play that. It's a nice little demo. I think you can still go get the demo on Steam to play it yourself. They completely updated the intro sequence, so you actually get to like walk around the hacker's apartment for a bit, rather than just like having it be all in cutscene. So it's just very fun.
Good to hear. Good to hear. I'm glad that there is hope on the horizon for System Shock, because it did seem pretty frustrating lately, pretty empty, yeah, with the cancellation of 3 and all that. But no, this remake seems to be putting some wind in some sails. That's good.
Has there been a good Kickstarter of like the last 5 years, or have they all been bad like this? I was trying to rack my brain.
The ones that I can think of are not within the last 5 years.
That's what I mean, right?
Because I'm thinking of like, full disclosure, I backed this one, Shovel Knight, but I mean Shovel Knight's
like the ancient one. Like I played that in high school.
Does Psychonauts 2 count?
That was like 2015.
Yeah, it was
on Figs also.
Somewhat recently.
That's what I was saying.
It would count for that case, but it just count because it's too old. It's just, I feel like it's been so bad recently. Like, all of these things just keep... Like, I'm hoping that, especially for Lorelei's sake, that Suikoden one is good.
Yeah, I was gonna say...
Yuden Chronicle. But, like, Shenmue 3, hello?
That new Torment game?
Oh, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, that was like I don't know if it was a straight sequel or just like a spiritual sequel to Planescape Torment.
Oh, right. Yeah, I don't know anything about
that was a Kickstarter game. I mean, it was received pretty well.
Okay.
It was 2017, so that's, that's
close enough.
Yeah.
I just feel like everything I hear is like, yeah, they just disappeared or they vanished and it just never came out or what have you. I feel like Kickstarter is super dead at this stage, is what I'm mainly thinking. Like, I feel like everyone has given up on it.
I mean, you can't really do video games on there anymore just because, like, it's ever since it became obvious that it's just like, oh yeah, no, you're not you are not paying for the whole thing. We have to go out and get
you're
more
paying
money
to encourage venture capitalists, basically.
Yeah, nobody really wants to throw their hats into that ring, basically, because it's we have seen how the sausage is made, and nobody really wants to eat it now.
Yeah.
Very apt description.
I mean, there's still like I'm actually waiting on something from a Kickstarter that I backed that should be coming recently. I backed that book that fucking Howard Lincoln wrote. Yeah, that with the was that not Howard Lincoln. What's the fucking guy's name? Because oh my god, his name is also Howard. It's Howard Phillips. That's right, Howard Phillips, the one that he wrote with Matthew Taranto. I want to make sure Taranto. Yeah, the Brawl in the Family guy who did the art for it. I'm looking forward to that a lot because that's just going to be like a nice little like behind the scenes of Nintendo of America's early days. Like,
Yeah,
Probably not going to be anything too crazy, but
books and art stuff are definitely like what I feel like is left there. I think it's crazy how many board games succeed there every year, if I'm being real with you. But that might just be because I'm not in the board game scene. But it always seems so insane to me.
yeah. I'm just looking on here. I mean, like, there's some films that are succeeding on here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe it's just me, but not that I backed this one, but ever since the Mighty Number 9 incident, I think some people were like, not just the venture capitalist stuff. I think a lot of people lost faith on Kickstarter as a platform for video games funding after that.
And like Broken
like
Age took forever.
Also. It was like, yeah, Broken Age took a really long time, and it didn't like knock everyone's socks off. Yeah, there was that.
Psychonauts, like, they got bought by Microsoft mid-development, which that wasn't a Kickstarter, but same thing, basically. Like,
fucking, yeah, it was Mighty Number 9. It was Shenmue was also around that time. There's like one other thing that because the thing is that like everyone was really scared about Bloodstained,
and then it was fine.
That came. It was fine, yeah. I could have sworn there was like one other thing around that time where people were like, "Fuck," because it was like another one of the like successors, you know, because they were like, "Oh, the Mega Man successor, the Castlevania successor," and then there was like one other one I don't fucking remember. I mean, I guess if I don't remember, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
but yeah, it does just feel like it was a lot of stuff just kind of piling up at once. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Rose, what have you been playing? You can do 2 because you have a bit more of a list. So hit us with 2.
I've been going crazy. All right, I'll cover. Let me think. These will be two. These two can fit in pretty quick. Okay. So I played all of I 100%ed the Dead Space remake. I got the platinum trophy and everything. And it sure was Dead Space 1, which is a great game.
That is a really good game.
It's a really fucking good game. Yeah, I'm a big Dead Space head. I realized it's the type of thing where it's like it's been so long since a Dead Space game came out, and the last one was so bad, right? That it just like sort of exits your memory. But like playing through 1, I was like, I know this entire map. I know every single room. I know where everything is. Like like sleeper cell activation type deal. Because I realized like I played through like the first game and the second game like 6 times each probably. Way back when. And I really like them. I think they're just the perfect blend of you know, I love survival horror games, right? I'm a big Silent Hill head. I'm a big Resident Evil head. But there is something about the way that it is an arcadey one of those, basically. For lack of a better analogy. Like, it's just so fun to play. Like, just the methodicalness of, like, you chop off the limbs, you pick up the arm with telekinesis, throw it back at them, it's pin them to a wall, like stuff like that, throw explosions at them, like it's just, it reminded me like how good that game was. And I think like all the changes they made in the remake to make it a little bit longer and more fleshed out are great. I went and looked at a bunch of like LP footage of the original to see, and basically the main difference I would say that they did is they made a lot of the rooms just bigger in a way that makes sense, because the original game is a lot of really tight corridors. And they just basically just like added like, I'd say like a foot to each room, basically. Which makes it a lot more comfortable to move around and gives you a lot more space. Which makes the game a little easier, but I don't mind it. I think like the main thing is I was seeing a lot of people go like, this is amazing. They went above and beyond for a remake. And I don't think it's that, to be real with you. I think they did a great job remaking it, and like visually, aesthetically, they crushed it all in that department. But like gameplay wise, this is the same gameplay. You know, like this, they didn't add anything crazy new. They tightened things up to make it a little bit more like Dead Space 2, but really playing through this, what it made me realize is like, I'm kind of sad because we don't get anything like this anymore. Like the AAA field is so limited in its scope and ideas of like what type of games can exist, especially in the recent times with open world stuff, that it's like people are just so bewildered and blown away by this because we've only seen bad stuff recently.
Yeah, it is just like, it is just how the game industry is these days, with everyone being so scared of trying new things.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I had a conversation with some of my coworkers today, just like how, like, one of my managers was just like, because I mentioned the like current Switch 2 rumors, and just because one of my coworkers was like, I might buy a Switch soon, and I was just like, you know, there's talk about a Switch 2. I don't know, but just wait, you know, that kind of thing. One of the managers was just like, I think Nintendo should get into VR because that's the future. And I was just like, you know, I completely disagree and all that, but I was trying to be nice, and I was just like a big reason why VR isn't able to be mainstream is just because it's so expensive, and there's this feedback loop of they can't make it cheaper because not enough people have it to like lower the price to like get people to make money off of the software and like all that shit. And it's just like, you know, I just thought about that, and it's just like, you know, like, yeah, like, and also there isn't like a big AAA experience that can really grab someone that is just it by itself. You know, like when Microsoft launched the Xbox, you know, like they had Halo. Like they can't have something new that's like Halo level because nobody wants to invest that kind of money into something that isn't proven.
Yeah. And it's like that was my prevailing thought, was just like you would never get made today, and that's like really why people are so blown away by it, is like it feels so like what I'm saying is like I think it's a great remake, but I think you could go back and play Dead Space 1 and you would have just as good of a time, basically. Like
no, I do want to say
I played Dead Space 1 for the first time recently, and I loved it. So
Rose, you were pretty dismayed at the early showcases of the Dead Space remake.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad that it ended up with you liking it.
Me too. I think I'm going to be real with you also. I think a big factor in helping it is like, the main fear was like, we had just gotten the Last of Us 1 remake, right? Which was really bad and had a lot of visual upgrades that were not good. And this game looks super good in motion. I think if you look at screenshots of Dead Space remake, it definitely looks a little like, oh God, what's going on? You know?
Yeah. It's hard to get a focus on what you're supposed to look at in one single shot.
But in game, actually, like it's super easy to tell. There's signs everywhere. The map is good. Like you have the fucking thing that is so crucial to Dead Space that I wish more games had, where you just click in the right stick and Isaac puts his fucking hand down and it makes a line to follow. You know, like
it tells you where to go.
Yeah, and
which is weird because there's a spell for that in Skyrim.
Yeah.
And more games don't use it.
I know. Yeah. It seems like such a no-brainer thing to do. Like I remember the first time I played Saints Row the Third, and it has those arrows everywhere on the streets, and I was like, holy shit, this is genius, you know. But I think more games should have that. Especially because more and more games are becoming like unparsable mush because of hyperrealism. Because what I was going to say is like, I think the Dead Space remake, my opinion of it was definitely aided by playing the Callisto Protocol right before it, and that game is fucking bad. You just cannot tell where anything is. So it was just like going from a game that was just like sludge nothingness to like a game with like a concentrated vision, tight gameplay, like great aesthetics. Like they doubled down on the aesthetics in the remake in a way that was the one thing that I did really like. I think it's been devised, some people don't like it, but like they doubled down on like all the marker stuff basically. So like there's a lot more like TV monitors becoming corrupted and stuff. That's fun.
I wonder if that's a case of when they were making the original Dead Space, they wanted to have this background mystery element of what was really going on, and then they don't explore it because they don't know if they're going to be able to make a sequel. And
Definitely.
Then like, Dead Space is really good, so then they make a sequel and they expand on that. And then since they knew, like, since they already had, so they didn't expand on it in the first game because they didn't want to like go too deep into it. They just wanted to give you a little bit of mystery.
Yeah.
But now that they know that Dead Space 2 is like a canon thing, they can embellish it more in the remake.
It's the same thing with oh my gosh, the Isaac talking in this one more. He talks way more in this game because it's like, yeah, he talks. Some people were mad about that, but it does feel a little weird at first, but it's like, he does talk in the later ones. It's fine. I'm curious.
If he was a silent protagonist the whole way through, it would be a whole different story.
Yeah.
But
yeah, if like he was silent for 3 games and then the remake of when he talks, it'd be like, oh Jesus. But no, I think I'm very curious to see where they go with this. If they do remake Dead Space 2, I have confidence that it will just remind people Dead Space 2 is like the perfect video game. But I pray to God they do not remake Dead Space 3. There is nothing redeemable in there. Straight up, like there is nothing good. There's not a single good thing in there.
When you said that they don't make like Dead Space or a game like Dead Space these days, it reminded me about a thought I had like a few weeks ago where I was thinking about science fiction shooters and how for so long a lot of them have just wanted to be either System Shock or Halo or some sort of Call of Duty clone. And then I was thinking, why aren't more of these games like pilfering ideas from like Metroid Prime or like Dead Space?
The idea that there's not a ton of Metroid Primes is insane to me.
It's so weird because it's such an easy concept. Hey, what if we take like this focused exploration concept, this Castlevania Metroidvania structure, and just put it in an FPS game? And no, it's because a lot of it also is the more recent trend of everybody trying to be like a battle royale. Like we just got like what was the Titanfall news? They canceled the one single player Titanfall game. And I almost said Remedy, but it's the other. It's Respawn. They're busy with Apex Legends
and Star Wars.
Yeah, but it is very wild how reluctant, or at the very least, like people just. I'm hoping like with like because like I had this thought, and then like the next week they were like, "Hey, Metroid Prime for the Switch, go play it."
Yeah.
So I'm hoping with the Dead Space remake and with this Metroid Prime remake or the re-release. I guess it's a remake, but it's not quite as involved. I don't know. I'm hoping with these that like more development studios are like, hey, we should do this shit. We could do this shit. Although, then again, we don't want another Callisto Protocol incident.
Yeah.
Because I believe that game had people from the original Dead Space team working on it.
It did. Yeah, I think a couple of them, but man.
The really wild part.
And yet it was absolutely nothing.
Sad.
What a shame.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
You said you were going to talk about another one?
Yeah, I was just going to say real quick, because I mean, it's pretty easy to talk about. Speaking of the Switch, I've been playing Theatrhythm Final Bar Line on the Nintendo Switch.
I want to play that too. Tell me what's new with that, because okay, I played the demo. I played the demo and I liked it. I had to get a little used to the
controls.
How like the controls aren't bad. Except I wouldn't even say they're bad. I'm just saying the slide thing is something you got to get used to. So
but you do get used to it. I'll say that. You do. I have already immediately. Theatrhythm has been a series that this is the Final Fantasy rhythm game for those who don't know or listening. It has always been a game that's been on, there's an arcade cabinet that has like orbs, I think, that you use, the little balls or whatever that you move around. But it has traditionally been on the 3DS. So it touchscreen rhythm controls, and switching to a controller is obviously a bit of a difference. But I think they make it work here. This is like the last one, as Final Bar Line implies. I think Nomura said that the intention is that this is the last one. Who knows? I think they intend to at least use it as a platform, basically, for quite a long time, which makes sense.
Sure, because like the 3DS one was called Curtain Call.
Yeah.
So, okay. Keep telling yourself that.
And then they did like what is it? It's like the arcade one's called like Festival or something. I don't even remember.
I don't know.
But yeah. So like, it's great. Basically, I don't know. Like they basically like did away with a bunch of the more convoluted systems of the older ones, like Dark Notes, if you remember them, where you had to street pass them around, and they were like special hard mode challenge versions of songs and stuff. They just rolled things into the game, basically, where it's like there's the quest system from the old one, where it's like do X generated objective for X song or whatever, and usually it has to do with something thematically to the song, which I always like. Like whatever, it'll be like, oh, it's the Ifrit fight, and it's like, oh, you have to use ice magic or whatever to defeat the boss. It's like, that makes sense. But they added, what they did replace Dark Notes with is they replaced it with an endless mode where it randomly generates like a quest board, basically, with random songs, and you have to do this extra objectives, and if you fail the extra objective on a song or whatever, you lose 1 of 3 lives. So you basically try to see how far you can go, which I think is pretty fun for a rhythm game. The core format is basically, it's Final Fantasy rhythm game. They have it separated into the games, and it's like you unlock one title at a time. So it's like 1 through 15. They have 15 in this one, which is shocking to me because I forgot 15 had music.
Yeah, like to me, it's got pretty good music, surprisingly.
I mean, let's not go that far. It's got
it's got at least a couple songs. It's got a couple songs that are good. That's enough for me. The person who listens to the same song on loop.
So here's what drove me crazy, though. Here's the thing. Okay, so like when I was like F15s in this, and like I can think of like 3 songs. I can think of like the Noctis Shit Gets Real song when he goes Super Saiyan or whatever, and he's flying around. I'm like, yep, there's that song. There's the the Old West song for the gas station. I knew that one.
Yep.
And then there's like another boss. There's the Somnus theme for when you're walking around the city. That's the Versus 13 trailer music, which I love.
Yep.
And those are there, but there's 20 fucking songs from FF15 in here. And I was like, what? So they did pull from the DLC, which if you remember, the DLC did this fun thing where they had custom composers, or they had guest composers. I like custom composers. They created them. No, they had
it's the custom cup from
the custom cup. I wish they had the custom cup in this game. But that's the other song, the fake fucking commercial jingle for the custom cup should have been in there.
I gotta buy this fucking game.
But no, like they had Keiichi Okabe from Nier. They had Yasunori Mitsuda from Xenoblade Chrono Trigger, and they had I can't remember. I think it's Hamazu for the 13 composer for Prompto, maybe. But either way, like they have a couple songs from those that are like, all right, cool. But they also have like all the side Final Fantasy games in here. Also, like they have Tactics, they have Mystic Quest. They have both of the gacha games that they've shut down recently in there, which made me feel a little crazy because I was like, oh man, you can't even, I don't know what these games are, and I never will. I think that was Mobius and Record Keeper, which Mobius seems like it had insane music, so I'm kind of sad about that. But yeah, like they have like pretty much every song you can think of. They have like 20 songs from each game. I think some games have more than others, and some have less than others. Like Final Fantasy 1, it's the first one. It's all chiptune. They have like 10 songs. Final Fantasy 2 is similar. And then it's like you get to like 3, 4, it's like 20. But like Final Fantasy 14 has like 30 songs. Final Fantasy 10 has like 30 songs. 13 too.
I heard the selection for the 14 songs were left a bit to be desired.
Yeah, so they do have,
I guess
they do have, Shadowbringers. They have Shadowbringer. They have the Titania song. They have like a few songs from Shadowbringers that are good, but then they have like the E12S theme, or not even the E12S theme, the E12 theme. and it's like, this is very boring because it's just an orchestral song in a rhythm game.
Oh yeah, that one. That's not what I would pick.
And they're still super, like, since this is the complete version, right? This is the final one, so they have all the songs from the older ones, and the older ones didn't have many new songs. They are very A Realm Reborn leaning. So they have, but like, not even like interesting ones like the Ramu theme. It's stuff like field music for the 3 main cities, Ifrit, Titan, Garuda, which like Titan is fine and Garuda's fine, but Ifrit, you know, the Diadem theme. There's a lot of weird choices.
Diadem theme.
Yeah, like what is that doing in here? Like,
look,
I definitely
all they needed was Shadowbringers to the Edge and Escape. That's it, and I would have been happy.
They might have Escape. I can't remember.
Oh, they better.
I think they do.
Escape.
They have Mobius into Rise. They have those in there from Alexander. But yeah, enough Final Fantasy 14. They have a long fall, so that's the main thing.
Fuck yeah, long fall. We're good.
But they have like a ton of them in it. They have Chocobo's Dungeon and shit. They have so many songs in this game, and it's really good. I love the format of it. I love leveling up all the characters. I think they made it a little easier to understand. You don't have to use as many items and stuff like that.
I think I've always liked, because I only ever played the very first Theatrhythm game on the 3DS, and the thing that so it's always been very surprising to me whenever they come out with a new one, because I think they're still making those. But the thing I think I always like is that they basically nailed the art style perfectly for what they were going for, and they have basically not changed it at all, and it's great.
Oh my god, though, if you get a chance, if you can, I'll try to find a photo while I'm talking, but some of the characters, the villains particularly, that they don't decide to make playable characters, like when they make them, like, because you know how some of the villains you can add to your party or whatever after you do some stuff? It's like you can get like Sephiroth and stuff. Some of the ones that aren't like that are very disturbing to see. I'm trying to find the picture. Arden from Final Fantasy 15 looks fucking nightmarish to me when you see him here. I'm going to link that because they just like, they don't do like the cutesy thing like they do for everyone else. Like Sephiroth still looks like basically exactly like Cloud's style, right? The little like chibi doll thing. But then like Arden looks like this. I'm sending it. And he just looks like he has like a man's face on it, like a human man's face, and I don't like it. It's very like hyper realistic.
It's like they trapped him in
world.
Like Dokapon Kingdom or something.
It's not right, is what it is. But yeah, I like this game's only $50. I think you can get like the deluxe edition with the season passes for like $70 or whatever. Which is pretty reasonable for the amount of music. I think there's like 500 songs in the base game or something like that. And like they mostly pick bangers. I am going to take a little umbrage with the fact that I think that they're doing content releases every week for like the next year. I think they have it lined up where it's like, what, last week was Saga, this week is Live Alive, next week is Chrono Trigger. Maybe, I think. But they're doing like Chrono Trigger, The World Ends With You, and Nier pretty soon. And it's like, I would have liked those to be in the base game, but I get it. However, there's also the digital deluxe version locks some songs away behind it. And they fucking picked some real shit to just hide over there. Like, they hid fucking Real Emotion, the opening song to Final Fantasy X-2, behind that. Which is like the Unipop song where she's singing.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck are you doing? That's sick. And there's
you
a couple
can't just
cases.
release that now. Well,
like it is, but you have to pay $20 extra for the pack or whatever. Yeah. Which like comes with the season pass, which isn't that bad, but I do think it's cool that the DLC is set up and it's not that expensive. I think it's like $3 or $4 per pack.
Okay.
And it's all, I assume
like
it's all a la carte.
Each. Yeah. No, I think you have to buy the packs, but you can buy the packs like separately. Yes.
Yeah, you can buy the pack separately. So if a pack
I'm just gonna buy the Nier
songs, yeah.
Yeah, it's I think the thing that really struck me playing this one is I remember the old one being like pretty decent about this, but like trying to think of a better word, but like, you know, like when we talk about ludonarrative dissonance and then we can never figure out a good word to like represent the opposite. They do so many insane things with the song tracks themselves, like the note boards, to like reflect the song. So when it's like, when you do the Shadowbringer song and it's like one brings shadow, one brings the light, it's like, it does like 2 notes going in for when it says one brings shadow and then 2 notes going out for one brings the light, like that type of like specific stuff, like, or whatever. Like Man with the Machine Gun, they'll just be like, when it gets to like the really like hype part, it'll just be like arrows over and over again to just like represent like machine gun, you know, like it's they really go off with it and it's really fun. I think I was appreciating like the craft that went into it, because it would be really easy to just match the music on its own, but to also like combine it with like the lyrics was very fun to me.
To have a little more stylistic flourish, in the space. Yeah,
and they also do crazy things like they replicate exactly like what enemies your characters are fighting while you're playing the song that were in like that dungeon of X game or whatever, or like to the point where like when a long fall for Final Fantasy XIV's playing, it's like showing the Crystal Tower or whatever, but it's also showing like the exact trash pulls in order from the actual dungeon.
That's pretty funny.
In Final Fantasy XIV, it's just like there's such an attention to detail. They have like all the art that you can collect, the little cards or whatever. I think those are in the old games too. So you can just see a bunch of concept art for the old Final Fantasies. It's a really good package. It's really cool. I've been enjoying it a lot. They ended up like I was like really like, oh, I shouldn't get this, and then I just ended up caving in, and I'm glad I did, because it's a lot of fun. It reminded me I really like rhythm games.
Hell yeah, you and John have been jamming this week.
Yeah, we're jamming. That Arcade UFO, I don't know if you're ever going to listen to this, but get a Theatrhythm machine, please.
Yeah, I've heard good things about those cabinets. I mean, they get all the DLC for free, so.
I've played it before. It rules.
I've always wanted to, but
fun.
There's like nothing around where I was or am right now. They're probably if I went into the city itself, but
yeah. All right. I think we've had fun long enough.
That's enough fun.
Enough
time
fun.
for the shit hour.
Yeah, let's talk about the current trends here. The current events. All right. So normally we don't really try to I don't know, this might be a lie. Normally we try not to like dig too deep into like Twitter discourse on here, you know? Like I think that we do a pretty good job of just being adults in the room. You know, we're normal. We're just normal men and women. We're just innocent men and women. But today I legitimately think that this is something that we have like a different take on than a lot of our contemporaries, which is very frustrating and bad, I would say. But so there were previews recently for Final Fantasy 16. And during those previews, there have been a lot of people talking to Yoshida. And there's been a lot of discourse about a lot of the stuff that he's been talking about. I don't feel equipped to talk about some of it, but I think the one aspect that he brought up, that he feels like the term JRPG, especially in the West, is seen as a dirty word, is something that set off a lot of people on Twitter. And I think it is a lot of people not being able to reckon with some really shitty stuff that they did in the past. And, you know, like Rose, you've talked about it a bit on Twitter too. But people have just been showing their ass for the past few days, and it's really frustrating. It's really
crazy.
Frustrating. You know, I don't want to point anyone out too specifically. Except for one person.
Yeah.
Like I think the more lower end stuff is just it's people not wanting to admit that they were wrong. I mean that's the grand scheme of things. It's people not wanting to seem weak. It's people wanting to be right all the time.
Yeah. Which, especially in the field of games journalism, I totally get. Don't get me wrong, because like gamers are fucking insane, and you just have to be like a wall to them, basically, pretty consistently.
Yeah. You fuck up one time, you admit your mistake one time, and the gamers will cast you aside, which, fuck them, you know?
Yeah.
Who cares? But really, it's just like, yeah, so the grand scheme, the real nitty gritty here is just that, people have been pointing out, like, old reviews for Japanese games during the, like, PS3 360 era, and how they were very they were xenophobic in a lot of ways. It wasn't just it was in that, like, oh, these games are automatically weird because they're Japanese. Oh, they have these crazy long storylines. Oh, they're hypersexualized because they're Japanese. When like, you look at a lot of stuff that's coming out from the West was exactly the same. That had long, overwrought gameplay elements. Like, you look at something like Final Fantasy 13 during that time, and people talked about how linear it was, when Uncharted is also extremely linear. And, like, I'll be honest, I like Uncharted and don't like Final Fantasy 13, but there's other reasons to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's more than just linearity. It's just there was
no benefit of the doubt or like chances being given, basically, and that, I mean, that's still true today.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look at how Xenoblade has been like mostly ignored.
Yeah,
even though it's like a complete banger.
Yeah, no, like, legit one of the best games last year. Like, not to denigrate the other stuff that came out that was from Western games. Like, I didn't play it, but I know plenty of people who I trust who, like, love God of War Ragnarok. Mm-hmm. And I'm not gonna say, like, oh, that doesn't deserve any of the attention that it's getting. But, like, man, I just wish that we could all have this, like, this worldwide attention of just like, yeah, like, you know what? Yeah, God of War is good. Yeah, fucking Xenoblade was good. Like, let's just hold all of these things together in the same conversation. And there's also, like, the conversation of, like, Nintendo is considered one of the good ones, kind of, but it's only the like mainstream Nintendo stuff, even, because like, Xenoblade's Nintendo, but that's too anime, though. It's not Super Mario, it's not Zelda, it's anime. Yuck. And like, yeah, like, you look at, like, I an argument that I always see peddled is always the, like, Japanese games are too overly sexual. They have they have, like, like, I like, there is some stuff that I will agree that goes too far. Like, like, anything with, like, underage characters is fucked up, and I do hope that things change overall. But I think about shows like fucking Euphoria are huge over here,
Yeah.
And it's just like I just wish that there was, like, some form of, like, you're gonna talk shit about something, you should talk shit about all of it.
Yeah.
And, like, this game has a bunch of bouncing boobies in it. When again, to on the other side of the God of War coin, like, the fucking, press O to fuck Aphrodite or whatever shit in God of War, like, like, that shows how far the games industry has gone in a good way, which, like, yeah, like, but that's the thing, is that we all need to
time. Like, those critiques were going out towards only Japanese games.
Exactly. Yeah, like, we all need to reckon that, like, if the games industry on the creation side grew up, and that we need to reflect on that, then games criticism also needs to reckon with that and accept that, yeah, things were not as good as they are today. Like, we didn't have as many varied voices. We didn't have as many people talking about stuff in a, critiquing things that needed to be critiqued or highlighting things that weren't highlighted before. So I think that it's good that this conversation is happening, and I just wish that there was less pushback from a lot of folks. And I mean, personally, like, if like the personal thing that is very disappointing was earlier today seeing the tremendous pushback and continued like freak out that seems to happen anytime that Adam Sessler gets thrown into the mix, because people were posting clips from old X-Play episodes, and whenever they talk about a Japanese game, it gets really rough. Like, someone posted a clip of Morgan Webb just basically saying, like, great replacement shit. And, I mean, I'm sure that these days, if you asked her about that, she would not agree with it. But same thing with Sessler. Like, I'm like, he positions himself as a progressive. But like, just trying to claim that people bringing it up is, MAGA people trying to come and take you down is insane. Because you know what, those MAGA people are just going to agree with you. They're not going to say that this is bad. Like, people just need to fucking admit that they were wrong in the past, because we all were. Like, I don't want people to go back to old episodes of Chooch, because, I mean, I don't remember exactly what I said, but that was so long ago, I probably said some dumbass shit. I don't stand by it. And, I'm proud to say that I don't stand by that old stuff, because that is part of growing. Like, these people need to just, like, realize that it's not something to be ashamed of, it's something to be proud of, and the only shame should be if you still believe it, which, I mean, the way that fucking Sessler's acting, I don't know about him.
I feel like all of them, like, all the ones I've been seeing are like, this just feels like you were, like, Arthur Geese, formerly of Polygon, I think he's on his own now, was saying literally the same stuff, basically, of just like, he got called out for his really bad Vanquish tweet where he said it was very Japanese derogatory. And he was just like, he just made up some insane thing instead of just saying, yeah, you're right, I'm sorry I was being racist, when Gene Park called him out on it. It was like, you can just say, you're right, I didn't think about that. I'm sorry that I was like that back then. I'm not like that now. Instead, it just sounds like you're saying, I'm still like this.
Yeah.
We gotta double, triple, quadruple down on our bad perspectives and never change.
I just think it's crazy that all these people that you keep seeing, like we're seeing, like, instead of just literally just saying, you're right, I'm sorry, or anything, like, or just not saying anything, they're like all like running up to be like, actually, the game was bad and that's why it's okay. And it's like, that's not what we're talking about, guys. We're not talking about your opinion on the video game. We don't need the Google Analytics to tell us that it was okay to say JRPG. Like, we're saying that, like, literally, like, even I remember, even when I was in high school, people would call Final Fantasy gay. Like, all of this stuff has just been like this for so long. It's still like that. They still make jokes about Final Fantasy being gay or whatever, derogatory. And it's like, guys, like, realize what you were doing. Like, fucking hell.
Also, like, just a little bit of self-awareness when a Japanese man says that he thinks the term Japanese role-playing game is a bit dirty.
Like, yeah, like, it's just so weird to, like, fall over yourself to, like, then speak over them in a way that's just like...
Because I think, like, I have never especially liked how we classify and codify games, because it's kind of a huge nightmare, and me being a very I love to organize stuff kind of person, like, on the one hand, love to organize stuff, on the other hand, don't want to dictate to an entire subculture how we should, label games, because I'm not the one making them. I'm just the one playing them and watching other people play them. But JRPG as a term is a bit weird because along with Korean MMO, they're like the only two labels we have that are specifically about the location that they were developed in, rather than like what platform they're on, like computer RPG, or what kind of gameplay they have, character action game, or what kind of experience you can expect, battle royale. And it's really like we don't say American RPG, we don't say Canadian FPS game. We just say FPS game. But no, we gotta be very clear when we say that. Oh, this game is a Japanese game.
I mean, so here's my slight argument though, and like again, I'm not gonna fight against anyone who like has a problem with it. But honestly, I do say like Western RPG and JRPG, that it's specifically because I like JRPGs and don't really like Western RPGs. So
yeah, like that's, I guess Western is the other thing, but usually we say Western RPG when we're talking as a distinction from non-Western RPGs. Like
sure.
we don't consider like you wouldn't. I don't think you can go on Steam and find a category for Western RPG. Maybe you can. I think it might just be called role-playing game. But there absolutely is a category for JRPG. And on one hand, like I get it, because like when you say when we think of JRPG, there's a certain like elemental subset of properties that we associate with that, regardless of whether or not the game is like styled like in like anime, like Xenoblade. We expect there to be certain game mechanics when we say JRPG. And I believe Yoshida brought that up because like Final Fantasy 16 is not going to have a lot of those signifiers of
it's active combat. It's not turn based, so that's part of it.
But I mean, like Divinity Original Sin 2 has turn based combat, but we wouldn't put it in this. We wouldn't, it's a CRPG, but we wouldn't put it in the same category as like a typical Final Fantasy game, or
sure.
But like at the very least, I would have hoped that this, like, his viewpoint on the term would have led to a conversation of, hey, maybe we should start like changing this term to be something else. And instead, it's just been people doubling down on their Google Analytic right to say the term.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dumb. It's all very dumb and frustrating. And yeah, I just wish more people would be okay with being wrong and okay with growing, because nobody's right all the time.
No. And how can we know things outside of our own limited bubbles that we are all in always? Like, that's the whole point. It's like finding out more about the broader world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that is our take here, I'm not going to say for the whole site, but that's how we feel, I like games from all over the fucking place, like I was I was talking to, I'm talking to coworkers and shit, and I just remember like one of them mentioned a Western game, and they just went, "Oh yeah, you don't like Western games?" It's like, no, I like all kinds of games, and I'm just like, dude, no. Like,
I know I always get caught like that. I know I'm a weeb,
but come on,
like, what?
I know I'm a fucking weeb, but come on.
I was thinking a couple months ago about how in the same 2-month period I had played a game from Canada, Ukraine, China, and Japan.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's good. I feel like it's becoming a lot easier for that to happen, which is cool. Especially since China opened up.
Stuff. I played Japanese games last night. I was playing some American games recently. I played a fucking German game all the way through recently. Like, yeah, there's games from all over the place. It's cool.
It's awesome. And we shouldn't be like, oh, this is stupid. I just, man, not to fucking dwell on it, but really the thing that was getting me was really like you said, like in that era, like, we had fucking Heavenly Sword. Like, we had, like, the God of War literally becoming famous for its lesbian sex minigame. Like, it's just insane. It's just insane how it was so directed. Like, you look at those, like, Ben Kaitos, that X-Play one that got Cessor going insane. That review is insane. That's like, it's just a normal video game.
Yeah, they're remaking that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that. Yeah, that entire review is. It's like people made fun of X-Play for just having a bunch of dumb jokes in there, but the entire review is just them like saying sake in a racist accent and pointing out that like one of the shopkeeper's boobs move a little bit, and that was all that was in that clip. And it's like, I mean, I'm sure that there's more to it, but like it was like a full like minute and a half of the fucking review was just that. And it's like, holy shit, guys, like
6 years
like,
later,
really?
Mass Effect 2 would come out and have like the most cringe sex you've ever seen in a video game. So
5 out of 5.
Put on a pedestal. All the same.
Yeah.
Like, that's all I think of when I see this stuff. It's just like, let me tell you, gamers, when I found out that how many AAA games that are revered for their progressiveness came out the year Fata Morgana did, I became a little insane.
Jeez. No, but it's anime, so it's gross.
Yeah.
They all look like they're 12.
I do have a nice segue.
Okay.
From this topic of international games.
Sure.
I did recently play the Atomic Heart game, which has also received quite a bit of controversy due to the fact that it is developed in Russia. And I'm not super all that well versed on the controversy outside of the Russian developers.
That's it. That's literally
it.
Yes, that is literally it.
Because like I hear that and I'm like, yeah, but isn't Call of Duty, like, I have to imagine like at the very least I have to imagine Call of Duty has to like purchase the licensing rights to gun manufacturers to use all the guns.
Gives money to promote or to make the development of that game go through. So
yeah, so like to me, like I didn't have any sort of like moral question about, is it right to play Atomic Heart? Because one, it's on Game Pass. So, you know, I'm checking it out there. And two, like, it wouldn't be it wouldn't be that different to me than playing a Call of Duty game. So, but I played Atomic Heart, and then I found out within like an hour and 30 minutes that people were barking up the wrong tree. You shouldn't be disliking Atomic Heart because it's developed in Russia. You should be disliking Atomic Heart because it plays like ass.
And is written like ass from what I've seen.
Oh my god. I could maybe get over the fact that it just doesn't feel that good to play if like the protagonist didn't have dialogue at all, but he never shuts up and he acts like the worst character. Like, I don't know how this is possible. You know when they remade like those the Wolfenstein games and they had BJ Blazkowicz and they like wrote him to be like an actual character?
Mm-hmm.
This is like the dark version of that. This is like the insane sicko. I'm gonna be this like super fucking asshole who he has a line where he's like, I respect the doctor because he literally saved my life, but everybody else, they have to earn my respect. And he's like dropping F-bombs every 5 minutes, and it's so bad. He's so bad, and it really sucks because like. I'm currently replaying Dishonored 2 because it's one of my favorite games. And going from that game that it feels very smooth, very crisp, has really good like incidental dialogue about a bunch of characters. And I had also played the System Shock demo, which has like pretty good voice acting with the audio logs. And then going from that and then going to Atomic Heart with this insufferable piece of shit and his little glove companion, who that's like an actual glove he wears. It was just the most insane thing ever. Like, when all the other characters were talking, it felt like a normal video game. But as soon as he opened his mouth, it was like, what? This is like watching somebody play like Soviet Union BioShock. Oh, what was the thing that I said? I have to fucking... I said some insane review about this. Just this one line, and I was just... It's so bad.
And I know that the bad ending, you have epic sex with robots or whatever, which is very cool.
Oh, sick. Here's what I said. This game is like if you asked the South Park guys and Joss Whedon to play BioShock Infinite and then recreate that, but make it USSR themed, give it a modern UI, and make the first hour a Ubisoft E3 presentation.
It really is like a Ubisoft E3 presentation, is the
Like,
most nightmarish thing.
you know, those, like when they do their games and it's like, oh, we're going to showcase these really cool animations and features that we had these characters do. It's that for the first hour of the game as you're going through like this like utopic like cloud city situation, and they're preparing for a parade, and you see things like a little robot comes by and is like, hey, do you want more lemonade? And it gives it to you, and you can say yes or no, but because it's this character, you either say yeah or fuck you, get out of my face. But then like you, as you're walking down the street, there's a whole bunch of bespoke animations for all these different characters. Like you see a man dancing with a robot woman, and you see like these robots juggling, and you see these other 3 robots whose programming has gotten haywire. So they're like constantly picking up a box and then putting it down and then handing it to somebody else and then taking the box back. And you see like this like old woman help the guy like get his robots under like back in line. And what's funny is like all of these events are like so close together that each of them that's supposed to have their own individual screen time is like cutting in on the audio over the other one, so they're talking over each other. It's like if you condensed a Ubisoft E3 presentation showcase for a game like down into a very small space. And it's just bad. And then when I actually got into playing the game, like the gameplay is more or less fine. It feels a lot like BioShock, I guess, in the sense that it's a first-person shooter and you've got powers and you're going around like scavenging stuff, but it's not like I wouldn't say it's like a Dead Space style experience. There's dedicated save positions, but the part that I had to like stop playing was when there's a big creeper moment where it's like you're hearing this like robot sing a lullaby, and it's like, oh, it's all spooky, and the hallway's like filled with these guys who have been impaled, and you're walking down this one corridor and it's trying to be very spooky, and you open it and it's a regular save room, except the save station's been replaced by a refrigerator robot who then tries to like sexually assault you.
It's very epic.
And then the whole joke is that she's madly in love with men, and you're the first man who's walked into the room, and it's a bad scene. And I was like, all right, I'm done.
It was really incredible seeing so many people get like ready to play that game. Like, oh, I'm curious, I'm going to check it out. And then just seeing so many of them talk about the dick sucking refrigerator. It was just like, Jesus Christ.
The dick sucking refrigerator, who you also have to interact with to like upgrade your guns and upgrade your like your equivalent of like the plasmid powers from BioShock.
High on life too.
Wow, they really turned that around fast.
It was so fast, yeah. And they weren't.
You would think that it would be tough, yeah.
Yeah, but they were like, we got one more controversy we could leverage the Russia situation, just like the Justin Roiland situation. Let's fucking go. Let's barrel it out there. No, this game's crazy to me though. Like, this was just tech demos for the longest time. I remember, like, it was just like, whoa, look how epic my thing is on YouTube, and I cannot believe it got hyped up that much.
I'm only marginally disappointed, because when I was playing the game, there are like computers that you can access, and you can see a bunch of like dialogue, like between characters, like email correspondence and stuff. And because the setting of the game is like the 1950s post World War II, but like obviously very futuristically advanced, it's all very retrofuturistic, and it's obviously got like a USSR. Like, this is if the USSR had like Turbo won the war or whatever. There's an entry on there where they're talking about how this is I think you're going through a prison facility here, and they're talking about like treatment of the inmates, and the person's like literally, hey, I heard y'all are being shitty to the inmates. I mean, I know we're a prison, but fucking we're all still people here, and you need to treat them with respect. And I was like, okay, that's at least a little bit in line with the world that they've established here, where they're trying to be like fairly communist. So even though they have like a carceral system, they're still like not doing the full American carceral justice system where it's basically slave labor. So like that one little bit told me like, okay, they've at least put some thought, or at least one of the writers has put some thought in this. I wish they had put some thoughts into the protagonist.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's the worst.
I mean, it sounds to me like you're just being a crispy little critter right now, and you need to fix your shit.
He makes a glove pun about his companion by saying like you sure sometimes you can come in handy, and then he like pauses and then he laughs at his own joke. What an insufferable little piece of shit.
That sucks ass. I'm and I will say also I'm mutuals with a guy who lives in Montenegro. So play through I don't know how far of Atomic Heart, but did play some of it and said, yeah, no, it's not just the translation. The Russian script is bad too. So
oof. That
not
sucks.
Surprised.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Okay, so here I'll go through the other stuff that I've been playing. So real quick, I'll touch on this. If we're gonna get a little controversial here, so I played Pizza Tower, and I really like Pizza Tower. And I'll just mention off the bat, I know that right now there are some folks who are talking about some stuff that got dug up about the one of the creators of the game. You know, I get it. A lot of that stuff was pretty stupid. Just like old Discord chats saying some dumb edgelord shit. You know, that sucks. Dude doesn't really seem to stand by it anymore. I'm not gonna like freak out about it. But you know, figured I'd mention it. But I will say, God, that game is fucking cool. It's really good.
I've only heard good things about it.
It's really fun. I mean, if you've played Wario Land 4 on the GBA, it is like, hey, what if we made a new one of those that's like, you know, that we've learned a lot of new things from like the speedrunning community and just the way that modern games work, and this is it, and it's fucking great. It is so much fun. All the characters are just really memorable and cute. God, like I'll just randomly think about Peppino throughout the day. I'm just like, oh, Peppino. Oh man, I love thinking about Peppino. He's just a funny guy running around trying to save his pizza parlor. I wish Italians were real, because I would love to meet one in real life, like Peppino. I can't make that joke because my family's extremely Italian. I can't be serious about that shit.
I think that applies to all of us here.
Yeah.
But I never in my life would have imagined them releasing a game that was like, this is a game that was made specifically for John.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
I don't know if
You don't think that's true? But
No,
I don't know.
I like that. I like it a lot, but I don't know if this is like a capital
It's
J
a damn
John.
YouTube poop game. I don't want to hear it.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Rose. It's a YouTube
It
poop
kind
game.
of is.
Yeah, come on.
It kind of is.
I see that fucking TV in the corner of him just watching himself is literally like everything that you.
Okay, and one of his taunts is him doing the Robotnik promotion pose.
Yeah,
so yeah. all right, okay.
I mean, it's not
good.
only a game for John; it's a game for anybody to enjoy. But this is definitely like this. They laser targeted you with this one, bud.
No, for sure. I do definitely want to play more of it, but it's one of those things where, like, see, okay, I have two reactions to things that I really enjoy. I either, like Pizza Tower, only play a little bit of it here and there because I don't want it to end too fast, or like the other game that I'm going to talk about in a moment, like Signalis, I eat it up all at once because I love it so much. So I guess those are like the two sides of the coin. Yeah, I've only played a little bit of Pizza Tower. But I do want to keep playing it. It is very, very good. But then the other game, oh my fucking god, though. Oh, Signalis.
It's a pretty good one.
It's great.
Oh my god. When I finished it, I finished it like midnight, like 2 nights ago, and then I laid in bed and I just watched like YouTube videos about the lore and shit for like 3 hours. It's so good. Holy shit. Like, again, if we're talking about like modernizing older concepts, like Wario Land 4 is definitely more recent than, say, the original Silent Hill and the original Resident Evil, but Signalis is definitely taking inspiration from those games very specifically and making it more modern, but still having those like types of limitations. Like, you only have like 6 item slots, and it's all about like figuring out resources and solving puzzles. And it's less about like there's not really like jump scares in the game. It is all very psychological, but it is just such a perfect vibe with like impeccable character design and monster design. Like, oh my god. I mean, a mixture of both in a sense. Oh my god, I just think about like how everything flows together in that game, like the ways that the characters are designed and the monsters are designed, and how the monsters interact with you when they're trying to kill you, and how good the weapons all are, and the friggin' music and the cutscenes and how they take shots from Ghost in the Shell and Evangelion, like straight from Ghost in the Shell and Evangelion, but use them in the context of Signalis. And I think, honestly, at the very least, for some of the Evangelion shots, because the thing is that I love Evangelion, but a lot of those shots are just used for funsies. Like, Ano has specifically been like, dude, I just did that because it looked cool, whatever. But some of those shots, they use it for very, very specific reasons, and it, like, I would say that they use it better than in fucking Evangelion. Like, I would say that, like, straight up. Just like, it's so fucking good. It is so good. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Like, I was knocked on my ass. I really was. Like, the only thing I would say that is a little frustrating is the item management a little bit, but I don't know. I think overall it's fucking heartbreaking, but it's really good.
I still haven't finished it myself. I got all the way to the first boss fight, but those aren't normally the types of games that I play because I'm not really big into spooky, scary games. And I like games that have like item management, inventory management, but they usually are always limited to, you have to play this game where things are going to get you and kill you and chase you. And I'm like, that's my least favorite thing to happen in a game. But I at least was able to get all the way to the first boss fight. I still need to like finish that, but I played enough of it to know that it's an incredible game. They just completely knocked it out of the park with its aesthetics, its sound design, the exact tone, what they were going for.
The UI,
the decision to make it look like a PS1 game was the fucking best decision of all time.
speaking of fucking laser pointing me at me, you know, like PS1 aesthetics are a big weakness of mine. So that definitely helped for sure. Oh my god. I just I just can't stop thinking about it. Like I beat that game like 3 days ago and I'm just thinking about like fucking like the lore and the implications and the theories, like oh my god. But also I'm going to be fucking real with y'all. I'm a little embarrassed to say it, but I'm just going to say it. I think I gotta read some fluff fan fiction about this shit. I think I gotta do that.
Sometimes it's just like that.
Sometimes you gotta.
Sometimes it just hits you.
It does. Fuck though. Oh, it's so
That's great. No, it's awesome.
It took me that long because I was waiting to buy the physical copy, and you know I feel a little bad because I wasn't able to like root for it in like some Game of the Year stuff. Not to spoil how Game of the Year went. You know, I'm not, but you know, I wasn't able to throw my hat in the ring for it. But I guess little spoiler. Luckily, I was able to edit my Game of the Year list before it got up on the site. I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, no, I'm so glad that I played it. And again, I am honestly really glad that I got the physical version though, because as soon as I was done playing it, I was able to fucking turn to my roommate who, you know, also really fucking loves horror games and all that, and just be like, you need to play this right now. You know, like I was just able to do that. So that was useful. Fuck. Yeah, absolutely. Highly recommended. Highly.
I could not believe how ignored it was during mainstream Game of the Year award discussions.
It's such a bummer. It's so good.
Crazy to me. It was so good. It's
on Game Pass too.
It's on fucking Game Pass. I know. That's why I was really mainly surprised. Like, yeah.
If you have Game Pass, go play Signalis. You'll thank yourself.
I love that you can turn on tank controls. Let me tell you, woohoo!
It's so good. Mwah. Rose, hit us with some more.
Sure. I've been in Koei Tecmo world, I guess. I realized both of these are Koei Tecmo games. One is Team Ninja and one is Omega Force. So I'll start with Wolong. That'll be faster. Wolong Fallen Dynasty came out yesterday. And that is basically China's Three Kingdoms take on Neo, for all intents and purposes, done by the Bloodborne combat designer. It's just a more approachable Neo, basically. They toned down how much loot you get so that it's a lot more easy to wrap your mind around. The format is basically still the same, but it's like level-based completely. You can go to a map like in Neo where you choose levels, but it's a lot more obfuscated and tertiary. Just sort of like a normal action adventure game. Basically Ninja Gaiden. It's a lot more like Ninja Gaiden than Neo. It's really cool. I've been enjoying it. The main gimmick is that you parry everything, and you can just parry every single attack. There's no unparryable attacks. So it's just like you parry in reaction to things, and then it like redirects them into the arena, and that lets you like start attacking them from behind and stuff, which is really fun. So it's a lot of I don't know if you saw a friend of the site, Wheels, clip of it, but it's pretty fun to do. Because I know he posted a video that was like all parries. It's really fun. I think if you were someone who was turned off of Neo, even though I highly recommend checking it out anyway, because of the loot stuff, I think this is a lot better. You can definitely ignore the loot even more. Very straightforward. It's just fun. It's fun. Game lets you also set pronouns, divorced from body type and everything, which, again, to go into how people talk about Japanese games earlier, just saying, you'd still be hard pressed to find that in a lot of Western games.
If Lu Bu can respect your pronouns, why can't you?
That's all I was thinking. Yeah, because it's so funny. You can literally set non-binary and then just do it. It's a great game. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I think the coolest thing about it is it has a by level, but like by zone, I guess, basically by like stage. There we go. Leveling system where it's like as you make your way through the path, like there'll be like a hard path or an easy path through levels, but like you can like go through the easy path and then that increases your stage level each time, so that then like you go to the hard path and you're stronger. You're basically like leveling per level separate from your own like personal character level, which is pretty cool. Just by putting down flags, which is, it's neat because the game is definitely a lot easier than Nioh. I'll say immediately, like just a lot more straightforward. It's still tough, but like, you know, but having that choice to like, you can just go down the hard path if you want to not be like super strong or whatever. And you can still have a hard time by doing that. And I did do that and I had fun. So it feels like a real good blend of both worlds for that type of game. Excited to play it on the super hard difficulty when you beat it. But I've also been playing Wild Hearts, which is the EA published Omega Force, the people who make Dynasty Warriors game, that is a Monster Hunter like, and it's really good. I was not ready for it to be really good, but it's really good. I know that me and Maverick always talk about, and I guess LV as well, always talk about like Monster Hunter Rise is really fun because they upped how much there's mobility and like everything's really fast and they trimmed a lot of the fat around everything. This has the same level of mobility, but it also like increases how insane everything is by like having more complex weapons that like can do more things. And also having Death Stranding building mechanics where you can like build zip lines around the map, and like you can build zip lines that you fire into a monster to ride onto the monster and stuff like that. Like you can just build like little bases everywhere. You can do all this stuff, but it's still just normal Monster Hunter and like completely normal Monster Hunter. You can just summon crates in the middle of battle to jump off of to do like special attacks. You can create springs all the time. You can create fucking, I think like, I told a couple friends like this is a Looney Tunes ass game because eventually you get to start making there's a giant pig monster, okay? The giant pig monster will start to charge at you, and then the game will be like, oh yeah, you could make a wall right now. So you make a wall, and then the pig just like bumps into the wall and like cartoonishly like flies into the air and then like crashes on its ass. Like,
oh my god.
You do shit like there'll be like a squirrel running around, a squirrel monster, and it climbs up on top of a rock. So you make a giant fucking like pull back hammer that like like a spring-loaded hammer into existence that just bonks it on its head and knocks it over. Like it's just stupid shit all the time. And like I said, the weapons are more complex, which makes it more fun. They have like the standard katana or whatever and greatsword, but they have stuff like a bladed umbrella, which is what I've been using. Where the main thing is you power it up by parrying. So like you learn each monster's movesets and then you like basically just make your umbrella stronger, and then you're just like doing a ton of hits by throwing this fucking umbrella in the air and spinning it and shit and like bouncing off and floating down like Princess Peach. Like there's a bunch of other stuff like that. The bow's really strong. There's like some like string based weapons. There's a staff that turns into like two bladed tonfa that turns into a shuriken that turns into a giant buster sword. Like, there's a ton of crazy stuff in this game, and I'm surprised at how good it is. And I think it's a damn shame that I think the PC version of both these games is busted pretty bad. There's some fixes out there that you can find, but it hasn't been great. And even on the PS5, Wild Hearts has had some performance issues that are confusing, like memory leaks and stuff. Nothing that gets too far in the way of the game, but it is also like, this is an EA game, right? So that means it's $70. And for a new IP, let alone a new IP that is Monster Hunter, that's a tough ask for a lot of people. And it's a real shame because I think it is a really, really interesting game. I think it's really cool to see someone actually like try to push the Monster Hunter formula in a different direction. Whereas like, I feel like the Monster Hunter people proper have distilled it down into an art at this stage, right? Like they are making a very specific game each time. And this feels like trying something new with all the building stuff. And I was very skeptical about the building stuff, but it is so much fun. Genuinely, like you can do it so fast. Like it is button presses basically to just build anything. It's how I imagine like the idealized version of all that stupid Fortnite shit you always saw people doing actually is, because it's not like you're building nonsense structures. You're building like, you know, like footholds, like things to jump off of, like springs to propel you forward, like all things that make sense.
You're not using a fort building mechanic to build this huge structure
tower
in a matter
to just
of
keep dodging
5
people. Yeah.
Yeah, 5 seconds so you can have the high ground.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Like yeah, it's really cool. I will say one slight against it is that it has maybe the worst English dub I have heard in quite some time. Let alone for a AAA game. So this game is set in like, you know, a fantasy Japan, right? But they decided to do this insane thing, which on the surface isn't that bad, all things considered. But they decided to do this thing where the characters will just randomly say Japanese words.
Okay.
In the English dub, so they'll be like, "Oh, hello there, sumimasen. I didn't notice you," or whatever. But like they'll say it like this: "Ah, hello there, sumimasen. I didn't see you there." And it's like, what is this direction? It's insane. Like it feels like whoever was the voice director was a psychopath. I don't know. Like it does not sound like real human beings talking. It sounds like the AI voices. Like literally, like it sounds like those AI voices that everyone's posting all the time these days.
Oh,
like
great.
It's so disjointed and insane. But like the Japanese, and I think I checked out the Chinese dub as well. We're normal, so I really don't know. But just know, like, if you play that game, highly recommend changing the language, because it really colors the entire experience when you're starting out, of like all these people just talking insanely. But yeah,
That's wild.
It's still a really fun game. I like the novel approach to like they're all like nature animals that you're fighting. They all like make things grow. So like for their special attacks, like you'll be fighting a fucking chicken, right? Like a grass themed chicken or whatever that has like a tumbleweed for a tail, and then like it'll start to like roar or whatever at you, and then it will just summon a tree to like fucking out of the ground to knock you on your ass. Like it's really novel. It's leveraging, like, just like how I felt when I was playing Returnal. It feels like it's leveraging the technology that next gen hardware has with like processing and like rendering stuff really fast. In a way that you don't really see with a lot of AAA games. So yeah, I highly recommend it. Especially if it goes on sale later. It's really fun. It's really, really fun. It is Monster Hunter, but it's like, unlike a lot of games that are like Monster Hunter, it is like literally like Monster Hunter. Like I say, quality wise, like it is up to snuff, and you don't really see that.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's cool. Let's see, what else do we have here? All right. Do you want to just bang through the rest of the news here, because it's not like super big stuff.
Sure.
Let's see here. So, there's going to be Elden Ring DLC, of fucking course. You know, this is not.
Scott's going to kill you for saying that that's not big deep news, but
it's
fine.
So it's big news that it exists, but there's not really like a big information for normal people.
We just got like literally a post and then
a teaser image,
and nothing else.
Which, like, yeah, fucking the Vati videos of this world have made videos talking about this image, but for me, who has not played this game, this is a very pretty image, and I'm just moving on. I'm sorry that we don't have the Elder Scrolls Masters in here. I mean, I guess
Elder Scrolls. You have the damn Elder Scrolls Master here. He's right over there.
I'm sorry, not Elder Scrolls, Elden Ring.
I know,
but then actually, I am going to repel that, because, you know, Spencer did finish the game challenge mode. So
yeah, I did. Yeah, like it's cool they're making Elden Ring DLC.
I hope it's better.
It'll be cool.
I want it to be linear.
We'll see if they do that. But I mean, historically, their DLC has always been pretty good.
It's always been pretty much better than an improvement in several areas.
Mm-hmm.
All
right.
But yeah, keep going, John.
I mean, that's it for that. Let me see here. So next up, all right. I think it's a good idea to go from like the most normal piece of news to the dumbest piece of news. That's how I'm going to take this. So next up, Square Enix's CEO seems to be getting replaced. That is the current president, Yosuke Matsuda, is being replaced by one Takashi Kiryu, who used to be in charge of Square Enix China. He's only been at Square Enix for a hot minute. Before you celebrate too much, of the ding dong, the bastard's gone sort of thing, because we all know Matsuda from his insane NFT letters that he kept putting out. Kiryu also has a history working on metaverse stuff, so this probably is Square Enix's investors being like, actually, bro, you're taking too long to put these NFTs in Square Enix stuff. Get out of here. So it's probably not going to be any better, but it is still kind of funny that he got kicked to the curb.
Isn't Matsuda in Nier Automata as like a secret boss fight?
Sure is. The DLC.
You think they're going to put Kiryu in as this?
No, they're not going to change it. I'm just surprised it took this long, frankly. Like, after like the insane fire sale of all of their Western studios for like insanely discounted prices, like I'm shocked that the board wouldn't want to kill him earlier. I feel like Marvel Avengers is a killable offense in general.
We don't fire here at Square Enix, we kill.
There's also another Square Enix fellow who is getting put somewhere else. Maybe.
All right, yeah. So this isn't the. This is arguably the dumbest piece of news. There's another thing that I was going to mention, but so folks, we got the update on Yuji Naka. He is pleading guilty. He has said that he did it. He said,
"For
quote,
the folks at home, can you tell us what he said he did?"
He said, quote, "There is no doubt that I learned the facts about the game before it was announced and bought the stock." He did it.
I still love when everyone was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, like when the first hit happened, the first arrest, and then the second one where it was like, yeah, he put like $1 million in this. It was like, oh, okay, never mind. Like, because the first one was like $20,000 or something, which is still insane, to be clear, but it won't be for the right offenses, but he's getting reprimanded in some fashion.
Do you think Balan visited him in jail and was like, "Man, you just gotta wrap it up, man. You don't have any."
Yeah, I think Balan's his ticket out of jail. To be honest, he's got that magic.
He's got to take him to the Wonder World.
Yeah,
he's got the ticket. Yeah, oh my god, just imagine like the.
He's gonna say like, "You can get out, but you have to use Box Fox."
No, I'm just imagining like like they fucking close the bars on him. They turn out the lights, and then they come in the next day. They turn on the lights. They look in, and there's just like a ticket stub on the bed, and he's gone.
The ticket stub and his hat from that one picture everyone loves using.
Oh my god. Fucking
I'd believe again. I'd believe the world was a beautiful place.
He's free. instead of sending him to jail, they just have him they just have a small child go through like a world to solve this problem, and then he does a dance at the end of it. Oh my god, the man who raged against the storm.
I was just thinking that.
I just imagining all the fucking Final Fantasy First Soldier NPCs are Fortnite dancing around him.
Oh Christ! What a mental image.
It's so fucking funny that we're all making fucking Balan jokes, and he was like one
The
of
creator
the people
of
who made
Sonic.
Sonic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, what a life. You gotta feel. I don't feel bad, but like, what a fucking downturn. Jeez.
Balan
Nuts.
It's just
Wonderworld
weird
did
that
him
it's
no
like-
favors.
It really did.
It's just weird that it's insider trading of all things. Like it could be worse things, I guess. That's the Yuji Naka update.
Yeah, I wonder where else this will. I mean, if he's pleading guilty, I guess we'll get like the final update relatively soon, I suppose.
Yeah. He'll probably just have to pay a fine. That's usually what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's probably why he doesn't want to just drag it out. I mean, he's just gonna be like, yeah, all right, I'll pay money. It's fine. And then he'll be back.
I don't know who's going to give him anything anymore. The Square Enix president's out. That was his last chance.
No, see now. Oh my god, what if this was all Naka's plan? Like this Kiryu guy is in cahoots with him, and he's gonna swing in and be like,
He's the
like,
Lance to his Balan.
Yeah, well, no, he's just gonna come in and he's gonna be like, we are confirming that we are canceling. We are not putting any more money into Final Fantasy XIV for the next 3 years. All of that is going into making Balan Wonderworld 2, Balan's Bout, the Return. It's gonna be multiple like hour-long Balan bouts where you just do those the quick time events. Over 400
All right,
400 costumes.
I would play Asura's Wrath for Balan Wonderworld straight up.
400 costumes with 20 different abilities spread throughout all of them, so there's not actually 400 abilities, just 20. And Jose Galler returns as the farmer who is mad,
Raged against the storm.
Who raged against the storm. All right, and so I didn't put it on the document, but I did see this, and I just felt like we needed to mention this. We have a bit of news about Smash Bros this week.
Oh yeah.
You know how they put Minecraft Steve in Smash Brothers?
Yes, I do remember this.
What if I told you that Minecraft Steve is considered the most broken character in Smash Ultimate?
Yeah, I've seen his very quick kills.
And not only that, but it seems like now Minecraft Steve has tech that makes it so you can't really kill him.
Oh, okay.
So you know how in in Smash Bros, if a character gets hit, they have hit stun. You know, they are not able to act for a certain amount of time. Well, Steve just has an ability now. Here I'm just gonna I'm gonna check this video out real quick. So Steve just has tech to cancel all hit stun of any attack that doesn't put him into a tumble. So anytime he gets hit, as long as he doesn't tumble, he can just immediately act out of it. So if you're hitting him with something, he can basically just react to getting hit. Like, it's just completely unsafe to hit Steve, basically. So he is getting banned in a variety of places. there was a picture posted a few days ago that was the Steve legality map, which looked like some kind of fucked up political map, but is actually just a list of where Steve is banned. According to this map, Steve is currently banned in 3 states in the U.S., which is Tennessee, Montana, and Kansas. There are states where he is majority banned. There are states where there are regional bans. There are, local bans. There's just all kinds of just like this is a topic of discussion. This is something that Smash Bros hasn't had to grapple with since Meta Knight and Brawl. But I wouldn't say that Steve is as strong as Meta Knight, because Meta Knight's problem was just that he was a character who was really good in a game where a lot of the characters weren't very good. Steve here has basically a bug that makes him stronger than the rest of the cast. So if they really are never gonna patch Smash again, like, even though this is a pretty big problem, like this is a bug. If they really aren't going to patch Smash again, then yeah, I do think Steve should probably be banned, because this is just fucked up. It is not how the character is supposed to be, and yeah, it's a bug. It's unintentional. But it is pretty funny, though, that Minecraft Steve has been banned in tournaments. That is just a funny sentence.
Minecraft Steve.
Even though in context it makes perfect sense.
Ever since Undertale, there's been the trend of like referring to a character from a video game as their name, and then their last name is the game they're from. Like Sans Undertale is the big one, but Steve's the only one where it's flipped, where you say Minecraft Steve specifically. You don't say Steve. You do not say Steve Minecraft. That is incorrect. You say Minecraft Steve.
Minecraft Steve.
Now banned in Smash Brothers.
Now banned in 3 states, and most likely banned in more very soon.
He's contraband.
Yeah, it's like there's going to be a point. There is going to be a point in the future. I don't know when, but there will be a point where you will be able to smoke weed legally in more states than you'll be able to play as Minecraft Steve in a Smash Bros. Tournament legally. And that's very funny. That's very funny to me.
That's wild.
All right. Do y'all wanna wrap it up here? Rose, you could talk about your last thing, and then Spencer, you talk about your last thing.
I don't have much to talk about. I want to let Spencer to go off about his little Destiny.
Okay.
I feel like that's a hot ticket thing. That game just came out. It's a big topic of discourse, as it were.
Yeah. All right. So Destiny's latest expansion, Lightfall, came out this week. It's pretty alright expansion. I enjoyed my time playing it and will continue to play it in the future, because it's the game that a lot of my close friends play. We recently did the last challenge in one of the raids so that we can have the Rivensbane title. Last week we did what is called the Petra's Run, which is where you do one of the raids, specifically the Last Wish raid, where nobody dies at all through the whole raid, and we knocked it out in about 2 hours or so. So that was pretty fun. So we did the final challenge we had to do today, and got the titles. Although, sad to report that Laura and I did not get our titles, because you need to get all of the loot from the raid, and I'm missing the Sparrow, and Laura is missing the ship. So we can't get our titles till we have those things. Yeah. But that's just how it is. It's not that big of a deal. It's an older raid, so it's not even difficult. But Lightfall. So the thing about Lightfall is that when it came out, a lot of people, from people on the subreddit to people on Twitter to content creators, I've seen like my YouTube like recommendations have been what they got wrong with Lightfall, because a lot of people don't like it or did not enjoy their first experience with it. They immediately turned around and started going, hey, you can't talk shit about my game, when, what was it, Rose? IGN put out a review for it?
Yeah, IGN put out a review saying that it's probably the worst expansion Destiny's had in quite some time.
Which I would disagree with that, but then again, I've only been around for 3 of them. So
I'd say Shadowkeep is worse, definitely.
yeah. But they immediately turned around and are like, no, Lightfall's good, actually. And like, they're Destiny players, so they're going to play this game regardless of whether or not they enjoyed the expansion. But the thing about Lightfall is it basically has three things going against it. Number one, it's basically a part 1 of a 2-part story. So when you finish Lightfall, it feels more like set up for next year's expansion, The Final Shape. They did put out a blog post, Bungie put out a blog post this week where they talked about how all of this year's content, the seasonal content and stuff, is going to be building up to The Final Shape, like learning about the backstory behind the main villain, learning about a whole bunch of other stuff. Because when you finish Lightfall, you have a bunch of questions, and if you know me, you know that I love when stories give me questions and then don't answer them. That's part of the whole reason why I like games like Bloodborne. It's why I ended up really enjoying Twin Peaks. A lot of things to think about and speculate about that I don't necessarily need questions answered. I don't need to be spoon-fed, like told, you know, what the fancy MacGuffin in Lightfall does. Which is a weird thing for Destiny players, I guess, because the whole time Destiny's been out, the Traveler has been this big special MacGuffin that they've needed to protect and work with, and they don't worry about what that is or how that works. But then they introduce a new MacGuffin, and suddenly they need to know its social security number, and it's really weird.
To me,
there's 2 more things. The second thing that Lightfall has going against it is that it is a more focused story about a small group of characters, and some players, I'm thinking of this very funny subreddit post where somebody was dismayingly saying, this expansion was supposed to be our Infinity War, referencing the Marvel film. People were expecting Lightfall to feature like a large cast of characters and have everybody come together to stop the Witness and the Darkness. And really, it's a more focused story. It actually plays a bit more like Halo 3 ODST. Like it straight up opens with like an orbital drop into a city, and then you have to go and explore the city. But it's a more focused story. It's not this big, huge thing. And then the third thing that it's going against it, which is my main criticism of it, is the story itself is intertwined with the new superpower strand that you get. And I think it hampers more than helps the narrative of Lightfall. They did this 2 years ago with Beyond Light, but at least with Beyond Light, you were getting the ice stasis powers because the antagonist also was using them. Whereas with Strand, they've made it this special secret power that only your character has ever been able to use. And so it's your character having like a training montage of learning to use the power. And I think that montage is really funny because it's your character literally disentangling their entire existence over and over again and dying as a result. But I think it shouldn't have been part of the campaign for Lightfall. It should have been something they released last season, or something that they just did separately from the main campaign overall. But a lot of gamers are mad that it wasn't what they expected it to be, I guess. You were saying, Rose?
I was going to say, the vibe that I've been getting with this is the same vibe I've been getting, or the same vibe that people have been talking about with Ant-Man recently, where Ant-Man is basically just identical to any other Marvel movie of recent times, but for some reason or another, it has been pretty critically panned. And I feel like that's what's happening is like, so when you say like, they weren't asking about the Traveler, it's like, I feel like you can only put up with so much, right? Before you're like, okay, are you going to explain anything? You know, that type of thing. And that's my only thinking with what's going on here. Because for me personally, like, I've been very annoyed at how Destiny has always kept its storytelling locked completely behind the, the whims of item lore descriptions, basically. Like, I've always just wanted it to be normal and just have a normal Halo campaign, and then you could go and read a book, maybe. As someone who read all the Halo books, I guess that's my take, right? Of course, but like, yeah, it feels really silly to me because it feels like I've put up with like Destiny players, like what's different now though? Like literally, what is different now that is making you all so hateful? And I think it's just like the straw that broke the camel's back, basically.
So I do have an answer to what is different now, and it is not a pleasant answer, and I don't think this is a main reason, but it is a reason I've seen a lot. A lot of people are, one of the reasons they're dissatisfied with the Lightfall campaign is the introduction of the character Nimbus, who is a Cloud Strider. Lightfall takes place on a Neptune city called Neomuna, and they don't have guardians there. Instead, citizens volunteer to become Cloud Striders, where they basically get injected and installed with as many nanomachines as possible. So Nimbus is technically like a regular human person, but they're also like 11 feet tall. They're like huge. And they've got a robotic cybernetic voice. They're basically like a nanomachine cyborg, super soldier. Nimbus is one of two Cloud Striders. The other one is Rohan, but Nimbus is like the more main character. Nimbus is like the rookie, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why people dislike Nimbus is because Nimbus has that quippy, campy style of dialogue that you see in tons of other Destiny characters. Like Finch from Witch Queen has that sort of campiness. Cade 6 had a lot of this campiness. Even like somber characters like Eris Morn will have that little bit of, I'm going to make a little joke at your expense. What does she call Drifter? Like, she calls him Rat. Like, she literally calls him Rat. But like, because Nimbus is a new character and is pretty front and center, people are dissatisfied. Like, again, like going to the thing of nothing is really different, but they're perceiving it as new and different, and they don't like it.
Yeah.
Even though they were totally fine with other characters doing it. And you can tell that at least some amount of the people here are being really shitty because Nimbus is the first, like, they-them pronoun having character in Destiny who is actually part of like the front and center storyline, is not locked behind some sort of lore book or anything or item description. And you can tell that a lot of the feedback is from people who are ignoring that point and just using like he, him pronouns, which doesn't make their criticisms particularly noteworthy, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, it's been really confusing to see. Like I know, like I outlined like how I what I think is happening, but it's still weird to be like, I don't get it. Like, it's just more Destiny. Seems to be like what all you people want all the time.
Yeah, I think overall the big thing is people don't like that Strand was too tied into the storyline, which I agree with. I didn't think it worked, even though it was like it had some funny parts. Like, Strand being tied to the storyline gives one of the best. It allows for one of the best lines in the entire campaign to exist. This is the only campaign that I have played, because when I started playing Destiny 2, in Beyond Light. I went back and I played the Forsaken storyline, then Shadowkeep, then I played Beyond Light, and then Witch Queen came out. I played that, and I've played Lightfall. Lightfall's the only one that had me laughing out loud repeatedly. It's very funny. For Destiny, anyway. But the other thing I think is just that it really boils down to they were expecting a more concrete, succinct story, and this one kind of ends on a pretty substantial cliffhanger.
Yeah, and like I can sort of get it because it's like that's all Destiny has ever been, but
that's why I don't understand why people are so.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, it's so weird to be mad about it now.
Like, yeah, it's a cliffhanger. Like, yeah, like they had to put in their blog post, like, we know you have a lot of questions, and a lot of these questions will be answered in the future. It's like, yeah, that's what I expected. Because they also just tell you that when you finish the campaign. They mention that, like, oh, we're going to study the new MacGuffin. And it's like, oh, that's probably going to be the storyline for a new season coming up.
I think it's really funny that the first This Week at Destiny, whatever post from the developers after this had the headline image, like in light of everyone like complaining about it nonstop, the headline image was the Among Us collaboration.
Yeah,
so it's just
the
all
fucking
the stupid
Among Us.
little Among Us Destiny characters.
I'm so sad that we don't have Among Us in Destiny. Like they put they put Destiny stuff in Among Us, but we don't have like a little Among Us ghost. I would fucking kill for that.
That would be the most used ghost ever, probably, if they had
that. Would be so good. Bungie, if you're listening, please put an Among Us ghost in Destiny 2. But that's basically it. It's fine. If you're listening to this and you're kind of on the fence about whether you should go to and play Destiny 2 or like get back into Destiny 2, I would say wait until it goes on sale at some point, because I think it went on sale back last summer. I'd say wait for then. But yeah, it was completely fine. I'm enjoying it. Gamers are going to be mad about stuff that they don't have the vocabulary to express why. They'll just say whatever shit.
Yeah.
And then continue to play it anyway.
Yeah, of course. 1,000 hours. I hate this game.
That's all I've got.
All right. Well, thanks so much for sharing, everybody. I think we had a good week for games, though. Like, we played some good ass shit. We really did.
It's crazy. Like, I didn't talk about it, but like, I've been playing gacha games. I've been playing Trails of Cold Steel. Maverick, if you're listening, I'll be there with you soon. I'll get there.
I mean, he sent in a question, so I hope he's listening.
Oh yeah.
I mean, same here. I didn't mention something too, because another game that I only played a little bit of, but only a wee bit, was I did play some of Like a Dragon Ishin.
I've been watching my wife play that, and it seems great.
Yeah. I'll have more to talk about that later. For now, let's wrap this up. Let's move on to questions real quick. If you want to send in a question, go to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask, and you'll send like these folks right here. First off, Cello Buster asks, what is your favorite ESRB rating? Do you all have a favorite ESRB rating? Do you see one that tickles your fancy in any specific way?
I do like T for Teen, because I feel like it's the most honest. I've always felt that way, because I always think about how like Microsoft like forced the ESRB to make Halo M, even though it would be T for Teen, because they wanted it to seem like edgy. So all like M ratings have always felt dishonest to me. I will say though, counter opposite, not to reverse the question to a darker area, but I hate E10 and up because it prevented me from playing Shadow the Hedgehog.
Oh,
wow.
Sad.
I was gonna say, I think
you love E10 and up.
I don't love it. I just think it's the funniest one. Just because, like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean?
It means nothing, right? Like, yeah. I mean, have you seen fucking Zero ratings? They're insane. Like, it's like 8, 12, 15, 17 or something, and it's like, what are you talking about?
Like, what is, like, oh, this is okay for this would not be suitable for a 11 or 12-year-old. As soon as they turn 13, though, you're good.
Yeah.
You have to get them that. Like, what are you talking about? Talk to your kids.
Yeah.
Just figure it out.
I like my favorite ESRB rating is RP rating pending. I like the nebulousness that one provides, because it's like, is it going to be teen? Is it going to be mature? Ooh. Also, it's shortened to RP, which is always funny.
It's going to be so funny seeing the ESA cope in a couple months about E3.
Folks are rating E3 E for everyone, because you can come on in and check it out. That's what they're going to say.
Yep.
I mean, early childhood is also very funny.
I always forget about early childhood. Early childhood is pretty good.
Also, kids to adults, which...
Oh my god, yeah, the retired one. Yeah. Oh my god.
Kids to adults.
Kids to adults.
Well, then who the fuck can't play it? Infants?
The elderly.
Oh. Yeah, if
Grandma, you are not allowed.
Grandma, you are not allowed to play this game.
I think Among Us is rated kids to adults.
No, I think they retired that one. I think.
Yeah, they did. I'm making a joke about like, Grandma, you can't play Among Us, but your 6-year-old granddaughter can.
I was trying to find like a fucking game that had that rating.
I think Diddy Kong Racing had kids to adults, but I could be wrong.
That sounds correct.
Sure. There was like a Frogger game that I played at one point that was K to A. I don't know. And then of course we have adults only, because you get to see full on boners in that game.
Oh yes,
which doesn't even exist, because every game that's like that these days just goes unrated because Steam doesn't give a shit.
Diddy Kong Racing was rated kids to adults.
Nice.
Wow.
You know what? I think we went over all the ESRB ratings, so I think the answer is all of them, because they're all pretty funny in their own way.
They are.
God. I don't know. I mean, I just think about how, you know, when I was a teen, I was still buying E for Everyone games because it still am the Nintendo freak, but like my brother is way younger than I am, was playing fucking GTA and shit, and I don't think that helped him. I don't think he should have been playing that, you know. Oh, boy.
I'm telling you though, I fucking hate E10 enough, because it was like, no, that's too much for you for Shadow the Hedgehog, and I was like, fuck off.
I mean, he says hell.
He says damn when he dies.
Yeah,
where's that damn fourth Chaos Emerald?
I remember
he was following the Mr. Incredible Becoming Uncanny Disturbing Roblox fact, where you were allowed to type badass crap in hell in chat. He was following that rule.
Being raised Catholic, let me tell you, playing Shadow the Hedgehog for the first time at a friend's house, and it has the multiplayer mode, and Shadow like said damn, I thought that like the world had ended. I was like, this is so perverse. I can't believe I'm seeing this.
I mean, it's the same thing as... No, I felt the same way, and I know that millions and millions of other people are going to say this too, but like, God, playing Donkey Kong 64 for the first time, I felt like a fucking outlaw as soon as they said that he was a hell of a guy. I was like, dude, my parents cannot see that I'm playing this. This is not right. If they hear that, I'm done for.
Language is insane.
I didn't swear until I was in like high school. That was something that I like held off
me either.
on. I was like, I shouldn't do that. That's not right. And it's like, now I just say whatever, you know. But like, I remember,
like, I remember being in a middle school science class, and the kid next to me, was like talking about how like basically just commenting on the fact that I looked like a pretty typical nerdy kid, and that he figured like I would never say like a swear, and I just say like under my breath like fuck, and he just lost his fucking mind right there.
Ass. I mean, I watched the AVGN as a kid though. Like, I'm not a kid, I guess, but as a teen, so that was my cussing outlet, I guess. I was like, this man is funny because he's cussing, and you know what? Still true to this day. That new episode was really good. That the Kid Icarus episode, that was a good episode. I liked it.
It was a good episode. I really liked when he shot the camera and said, "Oh shit."
All right, last question. That went all over the place. Again, videogamechoo.tumblr.com/ask. Maverick sent in a question. With the release of the Power Wash Simulator Final Fantasy VII collab, also having an insane amount of lore attached to it, is there another crossover you'd want to see for that intersection of detailed focus on set pieces and background on the events of the series staples you're getting gunk off of? So basically, what do you want to have another canon crossover with Power Wash Simulator?
So many choices.
I mean, like, I know this is basically Viscera cleanup detail, but like Dead Space, right? Like, that's what inspired that game. But like, literally, like, you have to go around and deal with all this marker shit and be like, man, what the fuck?
What a Viscera cleanup detail. What a good game.
Honestly, I know I just said it, but like literally Trails is perfect for that since it's the lore game, right? Like it is the world building game. Like what better than literally a game where you're doing that in like a palace or something?
That could be fun. You gotta clean up after the events of a Holy Grail War, Power Wash Simulator Fate.
You're just like, man, what the fuck did Kukulane do here?
Oh my god, I gotta scrape Ku off the fucking side of the road here. Ugh.
You have to clean up that room where he tells Lancer to kill himself, and he stabs both of them through with this thing or whatever. He's like, oh, what the hell happened here?
God, if we're gonna go for another really easy one, No More Heroes.
Yeah.
We're just doing Viscera cleanup detail though. Let's think of one more.
I would like
Elden Ring.
Titanfall 2 where you're cleaning up the mechs.
Okay. Ooh, that's a good one.
I like that.
And you have to like use like scaffolding and like you have to use the like the skyscraper window washing devices, you know, the big like
big squeegee
automatic. Yeah, but you have to like use it on the fucking Titan and shit. You gotta get into the cockpit because somebody fucking like shat themselves or something.
No, but here's the thing. You'd be talking to the Titan. That would be how you get your lore. You'd be cleaning them and talking to them.
Yeah.
That's cute.
It's it's lore. You're cleaning up a Titan and also you're talking to them, so it's like also like you're working at like a zoo but for mechs basically because you're cleaning them, but also it can talk to you. You got to clean the blood out from underneath the like in between the fingers. You got to weld the stuff together.
Metal Gear. I would love to clean Shadow Moses. I would fucking love to do that. Yeah, like it is 100%. Like honestly, I don't even need the lore. I just want to go to Shadow Moses Island and just be able to walk around it and clean it up. That just sounds nice. To, like sweep up some cigarette butts and shell casings, and you know. And again, if we're talking, God, I just want to wash a mech. Like you get to wash a mech in the Final Fantasy VII thing, but like God, I would love to clean Rex. Oh my God, I want to clean Metal Gear Rex so bad right now. Holy shit!
Oh fuck! Death Stranding.
Oh yes.
I feel like that's literally just a possibility for Death Stranding too. That will occur.
That is true. Yeah.
But like it's
Silent
like,
Hill.
Silent Hill, but it's not you're cleaning up all of the gore in Viscera. It's things like you're cleaning like stuff off of the monsters as they're walking by.
You're the person who's fixing the hole, so it's gone now.
Yeah.
You're the person like maybe you're like the person like grimying up Silent Hill and you're not actually cleaning it. Like you're the person who's like making like the weird holes that he reaches into. You're like, I need to put the
Power.
keys here.
Power.
I just like the
filth
idea
simulator.
I just like the idea of the Power Wash character being in Silent Hill, and none of the freaky monsters are
they're all just
worried about. They're like, oh, sorry, oh, you're here to clean up or like cause gunk or whatever, and they don't even just leave. They're like, hey, can you like clean off my like talon or some shit? Like you just like interact with them. They're just walking around. They're not like hunting you, chasing you, trying to kill you. They're just going about their day.
They should do it so that you have the radio on, right? You have the radio so you can still hear like the screaming when there's an enemy nearby or whatever. But it's like they literally like, oh wow, they like it happens for the first time like halfway through the third level, and they're just like, yeah, hey, can you clean me up a little?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, like polishing Pyramid Head.
Yeah,
and his big ass knife. Oh,
this is
making me feel nice. I don't know.
I was just thinking, like, how good would a game be where you set up the puzzles in Silent Hill?
Yeah,
like you're the person, or like Resident Evil, like you have to design the stupid mansion.
Isn't that just Deception?
Kind of, but that's like more violent.
Kinda. Yeah.
I don't want it to be violent. I mean, well, that can be part of it, but like I want I want to like be like, all right, now you have to turn the clock 18 times. And where do we put this paper? Oh, right here.
Look, and I know that they that there's always like the little like not very featureful mini game in all the games recently, but I would love to have some kind of like spin-off game where you're a Pokemon groomer.
Sure.
So
I'm shocked that hasn't happened yet.
I would love that. You know, just like all the different ways that you'd have to take care of them. Like, oh, this is an ice type, so you know you have to like chip off some excess ice that grows awkwardly. You know, like instead of like cutting their nails or whatever. Oh, you know, this is a water type, so you got to make sure they're really clean because you know, like it's like a Vaporeon or something, so the dirt gets inside of them, so you really got to clean them. You know, that kind of thing. Someone brings and then like the last boss is like, oh, someone brought in a legendary, we have no idea how to take care of it, you know, and it's like just trying to figure out how to clean it properly with like context clues and your experience. Then it's just like, oh, you know what, I've never seen Raikou so happy, you know, like, oh, that would be so nice.
Just imagining like a Poliwhirl walks in and you're like scrubbing the tummy in the circular motion that matches the whirl, and it just like starts to fucking relax and falls over and you have to hold it up. That's the good shit.
This last question has made me feel so nice. Thank you, Maverick. I'm just feeling good about that. I'm feeling very good. All right. Well, I think that'll do it. That was a nice long epi. We had some good, we had some frustrating. We touched on a lot of stuff. So I'm glad that we that we went over this whole shebang. Thank you so much for being on, both of you, Rose and Spencer. Mm-hmm. Real quick, let's go through the regular. If you want to follow our content, it's videogamechoochoo.com. It's our website. We have our Twitter. You can follow us on there where we post all of our stuff. We got at VGCC. Tumblr, videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com, or if you put a /ask at the end of that, that's where you send the questions for the podcast. Facebook.com/videogamechoochoo, if you still use Facebook. YouTube.com/videogamechoochoo, where we post all kinds of videos occasionally. Twitch.tv/VGCC, which, again, I would subscribe if I were you. Just to let you know. If you really like our stuff, go to patreon.com/VGCC. You just $3 a month gets you access to all of our stuff. Week early, plus a bonus video of us doing some stuff for Unlimited Railworks. And we're going to be doing more stuff in the future, so check that out. Discord. Our Discord is thegamezone.zone. Type that into your web browser and it'll bring you straight there. You know, you can come and hang out with us, chat with us. We're always posting insane shit in there. I'm just looking at all the fucking posts that we've been making lately. It's crazy. It's wild. It's wild in there. And thank you to Melt Channel /Magic Circuit for our theme song Crush off of the album Magic is Real. If you want to send in, if you want to listen to their stuff, it's meltchannel.bandcamp.com or magic-circuit.bandcamp.com. Hit them up on Bandcamp Friday. That already passed for this month, but next month's another Bandcamp Friday. Buy their stuff. Spencer, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at solarhazard.com, or whatever the URL is.
Twitter.com/solarhazard.
There we go. Thank you.
Rose, how about you?
We're on Twitter as well, at horngal, like horn, like an animal has, and then gal, like the girl.
Mm-hmm. And you can find me at JOHN_MICHONSKI, which is just my name because I did that. I don't know. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. I was about to get really mad. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, no, because I was looking at Twitter and I saw that on the regular on the timeline it had my username, like my display name as just John Machonsky, and I was like, fuck, did they get rid of like long display names? But no, because my display name is that reference to that insane email that Toby Fox sent someone where they like sent
Thanks
like
for
this
getting
long
owned by my freaking post.
Yeah, that's like someone emailed him like this huge like, oh my god, this game changed my life, and like this big like fanciful letter, and he just replied with, thanks for getting owned by my freaking game.
Iconic.
Yeah, so my display name is thanks for getting owned by my freaking posts. And yeah, I was gonna be very mad if they got rid of that, but no, it's okay. But yes. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. We'll be back next week with another episode of the Video Game Choo Choo Podcast. So long.